what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell. www.houseofreconciliation.org.
But to be shared with others that they may grow in Christ as well as myself for the purpose of successful living. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to welcome you and those that are joining us via our virtual campus and to our Greenwood campus, and to those that are here with us this morning in our in-person service at Greenville, 1427 Suite E, Lawrence Road. Thank you for being here, and for those that are joining us across the world. We do appreciate everything that you've done. I want to give a very good thanks to our virtual campus. Many of them, and I'm asking you as well, we have a scholarship luncheon that will be held at the Hilton in Greenville, South Carolina on Hayward Road, December the 3rd. I believe we would do the luncheon at 2 o'clock, and it is actually a scholarship luncheon. It's the inaugural birth of the Dr. S.L. Campbell Scholarship. And so what we're going to do is we're going to gather there, and there have been some that are part of our virtual campus who've already have one sold, two purchased tickets. So if you're interested in coming, we only have a few weeks before that happens. You can get in touch with us, hit us up on social media, hit us up on the website, and we will get you that information to the Greenville and the Greenwood campus. We need to gather that information. So I thank those, Brother Ray Simmons out of Columbus, Ohio, Dr. Nancy Fleming, and also Reverend Curtis Fleming. Those are some who've already come, contributed, and will be at the luncheon. And what we're trying to do is build a scholarship fund that we can help young people who are trying to go to school, as well as those that are trying to stay in school, and as well as those that are trying to finish school. So instead of doing a church anniversary this year, instead of doing a pastoral anniversary, we want to give back to the community, and this is one of the ways. We have several things that are coming in 2023 that we are going to discuss that we need volunteers for. We're looking at opening up a food pantry, as well as servicing not only the Greenwood, but also the Lawrence and the Clinton areas and the McCormick areas, because now people are realizing what I was saying a couple weeks ago about purchasing turkeys. Turkeys are expensive, and there will be a turkey shortage this year because of a bird flu. So if you are going to have turkey for Thanksgiving, which is a week and a half out maybe, you might want to get that turkey because the prices are going to continue to go up. And so want to thank all of you for your support, and if you're in, we need to get your name so we can get a head count. This is a book that is really good for pre-inflation, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, and recession. I'm going to give you some numbers, and we're going to get rolling. I always say this, I use this as a disclaimer. If you are accustomed to hearing and getting a type of ministry that causes you to have a reaction, I am not that one. I want you to respond so you can grow. Anybody have had a washing machine? Why does it have a lid on it? So if you lose everything in your reaction, what do you walk away with? And if you're used to hearing what you're accustomed to hearing, how do you grow? How do you grow? I had a conversation with someone, and they said to me, and I really don't want to get into this part of it. They said to me, we're used to something falling or somebody giving us something. And so people excite us with expectation and hype. And I'm going to say this, and I've said it across the country. I said it when I was in Canton. What you need is not what's in the sky. When the Lord said that I will supply all your needs, it's already beneath your feet. Every medicine that will heal the body is beneath your feet. Every garment that we're wearing came from beneath our feet. Every house that we live in, beneath our feet. Every car that we drive, beneath our feet. Every eyewear that we have, beneath our feet. Every cosmetic that we need as deodorant, beneath our feet. One of the worst things that we were taught in church is to look in the sky for something to fall when God has already supplied beneath your feet. If you study flight, do you know how mankind learned how to fly? From birds. They discovered how they had the wing muscles and how that when they're born they have to develop them, and how they ascend and the heat currents that's in the air, and how they descend and how they breast back and turn their wings. All of that came from beneath your feet. The minerals and everything that the doctor, outside of synthetic medicine that they try to give people, comes from beneath your feet. So why are you still looking in the air for miracles and blessings when the answers to your issues are beneath your feet? He sends the rain to recondition the earth to produce beneath your feet. My roots are apostolic Pentecostal holiness. I don't make a shame of that. And I've had a lot of issues with my traditional apostolic Pentecostal holiness people. And they fight me, and you know, that ain't for everybody, and this and this and this and this. And the Bible says occupy till he comes. And so I went because I might be wrong. And when I went back to the original Latin and Luke 19:13, when he says occupy until I come, he is saying continue to grow and stay engaged. Continue to trade and make a profit. See, people have sold to people this poor gospel and that Jesus gonna bless you and somebody's gonna help you. Listen, a hand up is always better than a hand out. Ask me why. A handout has no seed. If you don't plant a seed, how will anything grow for you? How? And so when I looked at the word occupy, because it was an excuse, and I'm going to talk about that this morning. It was an excuse because I don't want responsibility. And so what I'm going to share with you this morning is going to talk about you have everything you need. You're just not looking and you're not searching in the right places. This comes out of Proverbs 21:5 in the English Standard Version. And as the old church would say, now that I got your attention about the book, you can go to www.reginaldcampbellbooks.com. This book is $15. I'm telling you, it will make a difference. I've asked people to do a video that this book is turned around. Someone came to me last week and told me they have received a credit score that they never had in their life because they have read and studied and in partaking the book. How y'all doing on your budgets? Okay, nobody want to talk to me on your budgets. I gave out a budget sheet. I gave you a budget sheet. Everybody, y'all look like y'all done blew your budget already. All right. Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent surely leads to an abundance. The first thing I'm going to say to you is, do you have a plan for your life? Do you really have a plan for your life? We talked about having an emergency fund because we're in a pre-recession and a pre-inflation. I want to get down here to where I had this at. Because we were talking about broke, Broke again. Here we are. Broke again. Let's talk. Inflation right now it dropped. But it's still at 7.7%. So instead of paying $650 to $1,600, now you're probably paying about $550 to about $1,300 over your budget or over your income a month because of inflation. Here is what the feds want inflation to be, at 2%. So right now, if you're trying to purchase a house, purchase a car, purchase something, you're averagely paying anywhere from 5.7+% over the value. Can anybody tell me what happens once inflation gets back in line? You're upside down. You're paying for a car that don't value what your monthly payments are. You're paying for a house that's now underwater. To win financially, let me give you this up right off the bat. It takes patience to build. So, simply stated, these are the words. Fool by sight. That's why most people are broke and broke again, because they are simply fooled by sight. All right? Here is what I want you to write for those that are writing. Careful planning leads to profits. Acting too quickly leads to poverty. Don't be so quick to go everywhere with everybody if it's not in your budget. I'll say it again. Carefully planning. Y'all not looking? Carefully planning. I'm going to ask you a question. Who's going to think for you? Who's coming to your rescue? Did we pass out the sheet about predatory lending? Okay. Everybody needs a copy. And then people are like, well, I don't have that issue. I don't have that problem. You may not, but your neighbors may. Your brothers may. Your sisters may. Predatory lending is when they loan you 100, but you owe 1,000 back. Because people don't have the discipline to wait on their money to come. And they don't have a plan when their money come. And so when their money come, their emotions are high and they take off. Carefully planning leads to profits. What do you want? And I'm going to say this to you. If you start making a profit, sometimes the people in your culture, in your environment, and even sometimes people in the place that you worship will get jealous of what you're making. Most people don't know how to have anything. They're not comfortable with money. They don't know how to stack money. They want to show money. They want to let you know they have money. But anybody that's showing money, money ain't making nothing for them. Money is a seed that should bring you more seeds. You got clothes, you a flea marketer. You got more clothes in your closet than you've got money in your pocket. Remember I talked the other day about wearing brands? You got a purse that don't have 2 nickels to rub. You have rims and you're renting and rolling. I'm just welcome this morning. Welcome. Look at somebody and say, welcome. See, I didn't know I was going to get no pie in the face this morning. Carefully planning. Sight is blinding. What you see other people doing, you should not do. The great Les Brown says, do today what people won't do, and you'll have tomorrow what people can't have. Yes. So now, we talked about this word. One of the keys, I think we start next Sunday. We talked about finding yourself. This goes back to broke again, let's talk. The reason most people are broke is because they're unstable within themselves. Having things does not create spiritual stability in your life. Most people brag about a title or position they have. Listen, I'm going to give you something. Listen, Linda, listen. Tell your neighbors, about to get thick and it's about to speed up. There are 3 things you've got to do in finding you. We get together with people. Oh, we in love with them. They love us. We attracted to them. Oh, my God. You know, I want to have your baby. Oh, I want you to be with me forever. Here is the problem. Yeah, the young dude, like, you know, I don't know. You know, actually, there's another group back there that's cool if you want to go get something to eat and hang out with them. If you don't, you know, if your mama don't mind, you can go hang out with them. They playing games, man. Don't sit in here with these old people. All right, listen. There are 3 things you got to do. And most people are stuck on the first one. In finding yourself, there are 3 phases of you that you have to work on. Can't nobody give you this. Number 1, you got to find out personally who you are. I'm going to break that down a little bit. You know your past, but you don't know your innate inheritance. Every person has their own fingerprint. You receive something even if it was in poverty that hasn't been developed yet or been discovered in your family. And that may be your way out. The problem is you don't give yourself space and time because you think quiet time is being lonely. So you got to go get a bunch of people around you. And that's your time that you should be soul searching you. Find yourself personally. Who are you? Now I'm going to give you a new word to add to that. Personal. What's your pedigree? There's something in your family that was left or undiscovered that is your pedigree. What the family showed you was brokenness and poverty and dysfunction. They never talked to you about vision and opportunity. I want you to write that, because most people that you talk to are going to be 70 to 85% negative with everything that comes out of their mouth. And I'll put it to you this way. Keep making excuses to make an excuse, then a mistake. If you sit back and think in your cognizant mind and reach over to your intellect and intelligence, listen to what people are saying. They're not happy. They're not at peace with themselves. They're not comfortable in their skin. So in finding you, you have to go on a soul searching adventure to discover you personally. I can tell you right off the bat what they told me. Get a job. My father worked in the warehouse. Get a job. You don't need to be lazy. You get a job. Work. Never said think. Most people that are crushing your dreams, their dreams were crushed. Finding out who you are comes basically in 2 methods. Dreams and vision. And a dream doesn't mean you have to be asleep. A dream means that something keeps popping in your head from time and time again. And you're like, what the flip-flop is this? It's stuff that don't even make sense. That could be your gift. Let me tell you, give you an example. Let me take you to the Bible. Joseph had dreams. And his brothers sold him and put him in a pit. Because what he dreamed was beyond their scope. People will set you back because they have no vision and no dreams for themselves. They keep digging, and you can create a machine to dig, but because they're digging by hand, they fight your machine. Does this make sense? So when you start discovering you personally, here is what will happen. You will awaken to step number 2. What will be your profession? Because when the term occupy, it means, and it goes to Luke and it talks about that the person had given out talents. God gave you a talent that you're supposed to reproduce into something. Your dreams are supposed to become ideas, and your ideas are supposed to become a plan, and your plans are supposed to get some strategy that now you can put them into process. Your future is not your job. Your job is there to fuel your future. You're wearing that emblem, you're wearing that, oh, I work here and I work here and I work here. You're fulfilling their dream. When do you build your own? And here's what God says to the non-believer. Despise not small beginnings. They started out small. But the problem with most people, because they're not stable in their skin, they take everything personal. So they won't start out in their kitchen. They won't start out in a corner in their house. They won't put a little office room in their house because they just see big, but you don't know it took 60 years for them to get that big, and you're trying to get there overnight. You have to discover you personally. You have to do some soul searching. Can I go a little deeper? In your personal soul searching, there's a time that's considered a dead zone. That means that part of your mind no longer can live in your present. And it definitely can't go to your future. The problem is you're afraid of having the funeral to let it go. You can say, ouch. Because dead skin is easy to pull away. But when you still got a scab and a scar, and you don't put any lotion on it, no cocoa butter, nothing, no shea butter or something on it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean. No grease. Oh, come on, Vaseline. You ain't put no Vaseline on it. As soon as you start to stretch, it cracks. Some of us still got scars from yesterday because we won't walk it to the grave. He and she and they and it can no longer be a part of your mind and take up space. You have to bury some things in the past. If it can't grow, it can't live, it can't complement you, then you have to bury it. And you waiting on God to do it, and he's already killed it, but you won't bury it. So now every time something happens and you're trying to grow, you got the stench of your past. And when that comes up, come on somebody, all of your plans go to. When some people call your phone, let me turn around. They mess up your whole day. Some people call your phone, they change your whole world. You get that. Stupid. Let's sit your mule head down somewhere. They still owe you $300. They borrowed your car and had a flat tire the last time. And you may as well say what you need. Whoa. What you doing? You should not even answer that call. Because you're keeping what's dead. And as long as it's not burying, it's creating fungus. So it's smothering your ability to breathe. Because you're more concerned about them and it and they than you're more concerned about yourself. This is a time in a down economy to start finding what's your profession. What am I good at? Well, I'm going to wait till the economy get better. If you wait till the economy get better, you won't be able to afford that building. You won't be able to afford that place. Look at somebody and say, you got to start planning now. You can't wait to January time. I'm going to go to school. Anybody? Oh, that didn't go over well. Let me turn back over here. Let me turn over here. You have to build the professional part of you. Ask me why. That's a very key foundation in creating sustainability. And when you're a professional, you don't take stuff so personal. Can I hit with something? You don't make a pie because you like it. You make a pie because people gonna buy it.
That's true.
You don't produce a product because your friends like it. None of your friends want to buy your product because they want you to give it to them. Look, now y'all want to wake up. We've been knowing each other since we were in the 6th grade. That don't have nothing to do with this product. You ought to just give me mine. And then they got a friend that's going to say, you ought to give me that. And so you're going to give 2/3 of what you have created away. This is a time to discover your profession. And I'm going to say this to you. Most of the time, your profession is not in your family. It's the next level in your family. Can I make it plain? You come from a family of caterpillars. Well, there's a certain percentage of caterpillars that goes through a chrysalis and become a butterfly. You don't see the butterfly going back to talk to the caterpillar. The language is different. When you become professional, people who you used to associate with won't like you that well. Oh, you think you all that trying to use good English and stuff? Oh, you can't hang out with us. Oh, you think you all that? Oh, you got a little office? Somebody say caterpillar. Somebody say grasshopper. You have the same opportunity I do. I just didn't waste my time watching TV. Does this make sense? Third, spiritually. You've got to get in a place that can bring your personal, your professionalism, and your spirituality, and now you can become whole. Here is where most people fail. They make changes for adjustments, but not enough for it to be impactful. I'll say it again. They make adjustments, but not enough for it to be impactful. Here is the new word that I'm going to share with you. I said this the other day. Sustainable excellence. See, when you get professional, can I go back there for a minute? You don't get caught up in how your children look and whether or not your daughter's cute with long hair and your son's going to be tall and handsome and cute. You want to teach them a skill. You want to teach them that to be a whole person and just not a physical person. Because that's how most people get trapped. They either got low self-esteem or they think they're really cute, and both of them sitting out on an island with nobody. Because they never discovered who they were internally. So all she has is beauty. All he has is being tall and handsome. He ain't got no job. He ain't got no profession. She ain't got no skills. It's just two people in the room that was cute. Now they ugly. Because you don't like him. Now ask me why the spirit is important. Because as you grow, there are people that need to have the ability to grow with you. If not, they keep you back to 85. They keep you back to 73. They keep you back to 2002. And let me tell you how you know they are. They always bring up what was. I remember, oh, you think you all that now because you up there working for them people. Oh, you done got so diddy now, huh? You know you stole that candy bar out that store. They always bring up your past, which is no longer valuable in your present, and it definitely can't help your future. You need to get with people who can help support you when you go through these various phases and changes in your life, not only there for you personally, but know how to pray for you spiritually. Most of y'all, let me turn around, have never dated or married somebody that prayed for you spiritually. And so when you start going through stuff, y'all fell out because you started growing or they started growing, but nobody was spiritual. They mad. Mad don't help nothing. And then be mad with bad breath. Whew. You mad and your breath stink? God, good God. That ain't God. But am I making sense? I mean, think. Because there's a lot of people that watch the broadcast, and I'm trying to share with you. The reason spirituality is critical, because you're going to grow and morph it into another phase of your life. And many times you have this baggage, these wet wings that cannot fly because they don't see you that way. Every woman ought to be saying amen, because in the 40s and the 50s, they just thought y'all were just supposed to cook and have babies. Pregnant and barefooted. Oh, y'all too. Y'all don't know nothing about that, huh? Thank you. If anybody ought to be saying something, it should be the women. Yeah, a woman can't run. She ain't got to be run. The first woman that ran in a marathon, they knocked her out. They said she'd have no business being there. And any man that's jealous of your skill set and ability, he ain't the one for you. He can't handle that you can speak to other people. He can't handle that you work in the office. He can't handle that you have power and authority. You better let that mouse go. Ain't that much love in the world. Boo boo. You can't go develop yourself and go to school and become something. You got to stay right here in the kitchen. I know, and fix me some eggs. Fix your own eggs. And then sitting in the floor talking about, will you plait my hair? No! I mean, come on. Sustainable excellence. This is what you have to do. Here is what you have to do that's going to be very scary. And you're going to need all three of these: personal, professional, and spiritual. You know what these do? They set the new expectation in your life. And what it does is it brings responsibility. You can't have these without being accountable. It brings responsibility. Here's the problem. Most of our youth don't have any examples. You are their leaders. And if you're struggling every day with life, what does it say to your kids? If mama or daddy keep making bad decisions, what does it say for the kids? Am I making sense? You need personal, you need professional, and you need spiritual, because you should set the standard. Now, for the scriptural people, the Bible says you should be the light of the world. How can you be the light and you always in the dark? How do you expect for your kids to have balance and you always in the dark? It's one thing to tell a kid, we ain't got no money, we poor. Oh, we can't do that. And it's another thing to tell a kid it's not in the budget this week. In fact, why don't you do something to be creative so then you will have the money to go get it? See, we want to wait till they get grown and then try to teach them finances. And they done picked up 21 years of your bad habits. "21 years and you done switched jobs 30 times. Set the expectation, be the example, and lead the way. Here's the thing I want to share with you. We just got a few minutes together. Don't be afraid of problems, because there are solutions. Part of progress is conflict. Conflict keeps things, and friction keeps things moving. If there's friction and conflict, not confusion, because God's not the author of confusion. Because when you got confusion, normally confusion is somebody wanting to be selfish and have their way, and somebody with a small mind. But conflict, that's what makes your engine run, is friction. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so you have to understand, a problem may slow the growth, but it won't kill the plant. Where there is no activity, then there can be no growth. You, say this with me, you, say, I have to take responsibility for my destiny. I have to take it. I have to change me. I have to evolve. You can assist me, but I have to change and evolve for my destiny. And when your destiny is calling, there are people that cannot go any further with you. As just as the moth or the butterfly breaks away from the skin that has no longer any elasticity in it, there are some behaviors and habits that we have to break away from. Sustainable excellence. When you pray to God for personal growth. When you pray to God for professional vision and spiritual growth. Don't just say, Lord, I'm broke, I need money. Here's what I will say to you. You're going to have to take your destiny. No one's going to give it to you. Can I talk to you just for a minute? You take your destiny by building yourself out of what you're in now. Don't quit that job. Keep that job. Grow your business. That job will no longer be able to be your main stream of income. See, some people get kicked into their destiny because they didn't see the warning signs that he or she need to elevate. If you're working for a company and you can go back to school and they're going to pay a certain percentage of it, you need to be in school. You need to be getting that 25, 35, 40% to help you with your tuition. You need to be advancing, because then two things going to happen. Either you're going to outgrow that company or that company's going to outgrow you. And let me take you another step further. If you had a skill set from 2015 to 2021, by 2027, that skill set will be outdated. So how are you? Yes, that's facts. How are you positioning yourself? Automation, mechatronics. Things now are being done by robots. How do you position yourself? You have to take your destiny. No one's coming to give it to you. In most cases, here's the thing. In most cases, a person or a community has to advance and get better skills in order to have better economic stability. You are the one that should change your neighborhood by setting the example. So when the kids see you walking down the street, hey, Mr. Reggie, what you doing? Oh, I got to get in and study. You studying? You live over here? You do? Yes. I need to keep evolving. We have this thing called perpetuality where we're teaching poverty, so they just getting low-end jobs with low-end income and wanting to get paid without accepting responsibility. If you teach youth responsibility early, they won't feel pressure later in their life. If you cuddle them and coddle them, then when they get there and nobody's there to cuddle them and coddle them, they won't be able to handle the responsibility. And you need to be a stone in their life. In other words, I'm quitting. No, you're not. Hello, mothers. Sons quit every job because they don't want nobody to tell them nothing. All they've heard is a mama's voice, a mama's voice, a mama's voice. A man need a man to tell him, an uncle or a cousin or a brother, boy, go in there and do what you're supposed to do. Mother's voice, comfort. Men's voice is direct. Oh, you can just come on home. You can just come on home. It's okay. They don't know, understand you. You better stay out there and work. I grew up at 7. I was an entrepreneur cutting grass. What I went, I'm going to sit in the shade. It's too hot out here. If I wanted to make that money, I had to put that straw hat on and cut that grass. I had to adjust to the heat. Had a water jug that was frozen with ice in it so I could have some water and leaded gas. That's how old I am. Y'all don't know nothing about leaded gas. Leaded gas. 23 cents a gallon. Ice jug in one. Yes. Yes. I was back there when gas was 15 cents a gallon. There wasn't no such thing as ethanol free. It was leaded, and that's what you got, leaded gas. Fill up that milk jug and start pushing. If you want economic stability, as a voice in a community, we have to quit. We have to lose this ability to keep making excuses. We have to look for our innate inheritance will open the door to existing and establishing a new pedigree. You are here today to learn how to turn it down so your kids won't go through what you went through. That doesn't mean you pet them. That means you develop them. They have to be developed. Does this make sense? Can I give y'all something? Can I take this 7 minutes and give y'all something? So, somebody say, you want a nail in the coffin? You know, you want a nail in the coffin? This is going to be thick. This is going to be rough. I'm going to teach you the difference between a reaction and a response. And here's where most of our churches globally have had a serious error. A reaction is instant and knee-jerk. Without thought, it's common sense, and it's emotional. It's a mental or an emotional disorder. People have had people, and there's nothing wrong with worshiping and praising God. There's nothing wrong with being in the Spirit of God. There's nothing wrong with that. We all should. But how much of that do you hold on to? Once that emotional moment is over with. So there are people that want you to have a reaction to everything. And normally when you react or you have a reaction, it's a knee-jerk reaction from what you're familiar with. What God is asking us to do is to have a spiritual response to what we receive. God's word that is being sown into you today, God's looking at it, looking for a response. And so what we have been doing is reacting to the word and not responding to the power of the word. See, when you respond, you process it. When you respond, you evaluate it, and you create a plan of action. Does this make sense? Because the Bible says the plans of the diligent. See, most people, we talked about broke and broke again, is you keep responding because you think money fixes things. Money don't fix things. Money is a commodity to either buy time or hold something. And that's why most people are broke. Because it's a sale. It's a sale. Now, instead of it being Black Friday, it's Black Monday, Black Tuesday, Black Wednesday, Black Thursday, cyber this, cyber that, this. So people can react. Because the quicker they get their money, the less you have. So when you're sitting around trying to pay a high bill for December and January, you're in a reaction. rather than responding by saying, it ain't in my budget. I got a plan. I got to process this. That's how ministries grow. It's not with the knee-jerk reaction. Praise and worship is what we do. But then we need to know how to respond. Because emotions don't help you deal with trouble. They bring up the trouble you had, so now you get out of character. Can I give you an example? Most people, whether females like it or not, will watch football. They think that, okay, he happy, let me watch football. And you see people always at each other. But then you see other people just playing the game. Those people that are fighting, they forgot they were trying to win the game. See, some people are stuck in trying to win the moment than win the game. So when things don't go their way, their emotions, their nightmares, their poverty, their community, all that comes out, and they just, and it's normally the same people. They're not fighting to win the game. They're fighting each other. And when they get kicked out of the game still has to be played, and somebody still has, don't get knocked out the game. God bless you. Well, you can ask me questions.